What's going on, my Evolve St. Louis County fam? So, I'm your girl Kelly, and I'm here to give you the rundown on what happened in St. Louis County government this week because my job is to attend the meetings, so you don't have to. I'm going to get right into it. So, this week I attended three different meetings. Two of those meetings were on this past Tuesday. So the first was the committee of the whole meeting. And during this meeting, bill number 38 was discussed. And again, this bill, if approved, would allocate $6 million from the County Convention and Recreation Trust funds towards certain ball fields in Hazelwood. So, the city of Hazelwood and Big Sports Properties LLC are pursuing a public-private partnership to redevelop the existing, basically what's, the Mills Mall, into a youth amateur sports facility. So eventually, y'all, like this project they done laid out in these different phases, it's like all the bells and whistles from, hotel accommodations to restaurants, a bunch of other like retail opportunities and like a whole bunch of different ball fields, courts, all of that to support literally any sport that any youth would want to participate in. So yeah, it's a lot. And so according to Dan Buck, who's affiliated with this project, he said, and I quote, "This will not only make an economic impact in the city of Hazelwood, but also throughout North County." And what was also mentioned was that this $6 million that is being requested is roughly like 10% of the total cost of this project. There were a few issues raised among council members. I know Clancy, she came out and she was like, "Look, y'all, I want some receipts because I really am trying to figure out how this is going to be equitable when it comes to access for all of St. Louis County youth because, sports are expensive, more expensive than that thing. Youth sports are. So when we're talking about club sports, yeah, that's some coin." So she did raise issues around equitable access for all St. Louis County youth. There was also some questions around how the impact of the Rona will play when we're talking about the projected coin generated from this project. Also, there were issues around the lack of input from St. Louis County Budget Director regarding this matter. So the county council members that were present, they voted on whether to recommend the bill for it to be considered, later on in the full county council meeting for final passage. And basically their votes failed to pass for it again to be considered for final passage at the full county council meeting. The final vote was a 3-3 split. So I know you're asking me, 3 plus 3 is 6. So there's one council member missing for the committee of the whole. And yes, you are indeed correct if you did that math, y'all, because Councilwoman Kelly Dunaway, whose district that this project sits in, she was not present at this meeting. So she did not vote on the matter. All right, moving along to the St. Louis County Council meeting later that evening on Tuesday. There were 3 bills introduced, and I mentioned this, I believe, maybe on last week's in case you missed it. But officially, there were 3 bills introduced that would require some type of a waiting period before folks are appointed to work in St. Louis County government that have previously served as elected officials in any capacity, whether it's local government, state level government, federal government. So 3 different pieces of legislation were introduced Tuesday evening regarding that matter. Something else I did want to highlight was the final passage of bills. I'm going to highlight a few of them. So there were 4 bills that were passed, which basically involved accepting of grants. So the first one is accepted the grant from the FBI to support the cost of expansion of lease space for the police department. The second grant that was accepted was up to $174,000 to support salaries of employees in the police crime lab. The third bill that was passed accepted a grant up to $244,000 for support of the police department's fingerprint unit. And then the last one accepted a grant of up to $700,000 to support employment of a computer programmer for the police department and support of its care system. Another bill I'm going to highlight here is bill number 38. Again, I mentioned this like just a couple minutes ago. And it is being held. I will say Councilwoman Dunaway, she was present for this meeting, and she was like, look, y'all, I feel a certain type of a way, okay? She literally said she felt excluded and she felt disappointed with the leadership because I guess she had expressed to Chairwoman Days that she wasn't available to make the committee of the whole meeting. However, the meeting still happened, even though, I guess she had expressed that her availability, she wasn't able to make it. And the meeting went along anyway, so she felt a certain type of way and wanted people to know about it at the meeting. But yeah, so regardless, that whole situation is put on pause, is being placed on pause right now, so more information can be had for them to make a more informed decision. Bill number 39, which would involve the reducing of the budget of the health department by $122,000. Councilman Fitch, who I believe introduced the bill, he explicitly stated, look, this is no slight against the health department, but County Executive Sam Page appointed former Councilwoman Rochelle Walton Gray as the coordinator for the St. Louis County COVID-19 vaccination rollout, basically, within the health department. And so that $122,000, that's her salary and benefits. So, yeah, so this bill would, take that coin away from the health department, and the bill passed 4-3. So the last meeting I attended was the committee of the whole meeting, which occurred last night. And, basically, it was just all around the vaccination rollout efforts in St. Louis County. So Randall Williams, who is the Director of Health and Senior Services for the state of Missouri, he was invited to join the meeting. He's apparently, super busy man, so he really wasn't available to field a whole lot of questions. But he did express that because, again, previously, there's been a lot of smoke around the state of Missouri, folks feeling like, yo, the St. Louis region, we ain't getting our fair share of this vaccine. So, Randall Williams came to speak to that, and he said, hey, we are, providing enough vaccine for this region, considering its population and all that. So he said, yeah, y'all, we're doing what we're supposed to be on our end, whatever. But he also mentioned, hey, he's open for suggestions and follow-up meetings with the St. Louis County Council and others to figure out how, again, they can really work together to make sure folks are able to get the vaccine. The other part of the meeting involved the several hospital systems. So SSM, BJC, Mercy, and St. Luke's. They have representatives really speaking to the rollout of the vaccine, within their respective systems. And then something I just kind of wanted to uplift from that conversation was that, first off, if folks do register through those systems, regardless of if they have, care within those particular hospital systems, and also if they are, as far as like their insurance coverage situation goes, if they are underinsured or what have you, if folks go through the registration process and they get that appointment, they will not be turned away, even if, again, they are underinsured, or even if they, again, don't have a physician within that particular system. No one will be turned away if they are given an appointment and, you know, fall within the tier guidelines. Something else I did want to lift up too was how they mentioned that they are working together to share vaccines with the local health departments, as well as other health facilities, what are called FQHCs. So they're all really working collaboratively just to make sure that folks have the amount of vaccine that they need. So I thought that was pretty interesting to hear them saying that they are taking turns in sharing their doses throughout the community to make sure folks get those vaccines if they don't have them at their facilities. And then the last thing I want to uplift was that, you know, the question was asked, hey, how do y'all feel? Do you feel like you're kind of being shorted by the state of Missouri with the vaccine? And the hospital folks, they said, nope. So I thought that was interesting to note as well. More to come definitely on that. Again, I imagine that there will be ongoing conversations around this matter to make sure that this rollout process improves more efficiently and effectively. So that's all I have for y'all for this week. Please stay safe, take care, and, you know, see you next week. Peace.